Welcome to episode 4 of our 90-day journey to Easter. Here's a quick story with something to consider. One night in the mid-1880s, at a revival meeting in Massachusetts, a young man from the audience stood up. He spoke about his struggle to trust God. And he's not alone. I mean, we've all struggled with trust at some point in our lives. Regardless, the man concluded by saying, "But I'm going to trust and I'm going to obey," declaring his plan to continue to trust and obey God's direction for his life. I mean, that is really challenging. A musician in the crowd that night named Daniel Towner was so impressed by the young man's courage that he jotted down those words, "to trust and obey," and stuck them in his pocket. Later, he wrote a friend, John Sammis, who transformed those words into the chorus of a hymn that read, "Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey." And thus was born a hymn that has been sung for over 100 years in churches all over the world. Like the young man at the meeting, we seldom know all the answers about which way to go in life. And ultimately, we're left with a decision. Do we trust that God loves us and desires the best for us? Then do we obey what God says is best for us, not as a favor, but because we trust God's way is the best? So what is it for you? In which area of your life do you know God would love for you to trust? Maybe during the 90, you would consider turning it over to Him. This week's reading is Matthew chapter 5, and I want you to pay close attention to what Jesus teaches about our relationship to others.